What's up, guys? Mudar True Good Development. You know, many people ask me how to invest in real estate, when, and what to invest in. I'm going to tell you exactly how to do all that, and the best way for me to do it is by using an example. And not just any example, I'm going to use my own personal experience so you know that it's doable and it could happen if it's something that you want to do for yourself. Before I tell you about my exact situation and how I started, I want to tell you about 3 things that are extremely necessary in order for any business or any venture to succeed, in my opinion. And that is discipline, consistency, and setting realistic goals. Obviously, we all know that you have to set a goal so you can find the motivation to get to it. So we know that, however, setting a realistic goal could make or break your venture. So for example, if you're starting in real estate, I personally don't think it's realistic that you say, hey, in my first year, I'm gonna have 10 units and they're all gonna be producing cash flow. Especially if you don't have the funds, don't have the experience, or the connections, whatever. Now, a more realistic approach would be, hey, in 12 months or in 1 year, I want to own 1 property that's producing positive cash flow. That's a realistic goal. It's a smaller goal. Therefore, it's more likely that you will attain it. So let's go back to the other 2, discipline and consistency. You have to be disciplined in anything that you want to achieve. So let me give you an example. If that means you're going to work nights and weekends, so you already have your job and you want to make the commitment to invest in real estate, whether that be an extra job, an additional job, or education, or whatever the case may be, you need to stick to that. And if that means you're going to have to do nights and weekends, then you're going to need to be disciplined to make that commitment. Consistency is you're going to need to do that until you reach your goal. For example, we're not going to do nights and weekends for 1 week and then do it again a month later. No, it's going to have to be every night and every weekend until you reach your goal. So there you go. Those are your 3 things that you need to commit to: discipline, consistency, realistic goals. Now on to the juicy stuff. How did I do it? So first off, you know, this is not an overnight thing. It takes time. So it's not an overnight thing. I'm not going to give you a piece of information that's going to make you rich overnight or wealthy overnight. No, you need that commitment. You need to put in the work. All right, what did I do? Now, we're going to go back. Let me set the scene. This is back in around 2000. That's when I got my first condo deal. I was a real estate agent in New York City. When I started, I didn't really have the funds to purchase any property, but I knew that that was going to be my goal. I knew that I wanted to be a landlord because I enjoyed the idea of the additional income. And that's, of course, after reading a couple of books. If you want to know these books, send me a comment and I'll let you know. So now I have the goal. The realistic goal was that I'm going to own an apartment, I'm going to rent it out, and I'm going to have a positive cash flow that's coming in from that unit. So I put my numbers together and I went in on a hunt. Now before that, I knew that I had to save the money. So I worked, I want to say, at least 3 jobs at the time. I was a real estate agent. I was in college at the time, so I was still a student, and I tutored in school, and I also worked at an ice cream parlor on the weekends. And I did some other things on the side too, but regardless, that's at least 3 jobs that I worked in order to stash some money. Now, you'll hear me in my other videos saying, hey, don't save, leverage. But at this point, you have nothing to leverage, so you do need money to start with. Found the place, partnering with a family member to get it, 50-50 deal. I was managing it, rented out, and we got the positive cash flow coming from it. And that was it. I wasn't looking to get cash flow that's going to be my retirement. No, the idea was I was still young. I was 20 years old. In 30 years, this is my thinking at the time, in 30 years, I'm going to own this place outright. I'm going to be 50. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of money coming in from that unit. It was in Jersey City. Rents are pretty high. It's very close to New York. Anyways, little did I know that along the way, I've leveraged that property multiple times and moved on to buy other real estate, which I will talk about in other videos, because I want this video to be focused on how to start. So how to start is by setting a realistic goal. And to me, that would be one property that's going to produce cash flow for you. That's how you start. What to invest in. Anything that will produce cash flow for you, if that is your goal. If your goal is to rehab and flip, that's fine too. Just understand that to build wealth, you're going to need residual income coming in. But that's okay. If you don't have the funds to get a rental, you can go ahead and find a distressed property or property below market, buy it and flip it, renovate it. If there is value add, then do that, and then you can resell that property if that's what you're into. So on the what side of things, it could be a multitude of things, but as a small investor or somebody who's just getting started, you need to start small, set a realistic goal. And in terms of when, yesterday. I mean, you need to start this right away. Doesn't matter what age you are, just set the realistic goal, and there you go. There's no magic to it. There's no magic recipe to it. If you enjoyed the video, please like it. Subscribe if you haven't, so you receive my videos as soon as they come out. We'll have a follow-up video on what I did with that condo. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments. I like to read those comments and reply to them when I can. And I'll check you guys on the next one.